But the fact is, stress is an internal factor, and therefore it has to be tackled internally. An example would make it easier to understand what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
You know, a seed is put into a soil, as a result of which it grows into a tree that produces the fruit, a fruit. Now, soil is conducive for the growth of the seed, no doubt. But the quality of the fruit will depend on the seed,
Yes.
not the soil. Okay. So, the seed of an indisciplined, uncontrolled mind produces the fruit of discontent, stress, and a whole lot of negative emotions.
Right.
The soil is only conducive. It could be the situation you're placed in, the world you're placed in. It could be a family situation. It could be a work situation. That would be the soil. But the seed is the indisciplined mind.
Right.
So a human being is constituted of an inner personality. Outer personality is just the body. That's not you.
I don't know whether I love this person or whether I'm merely attached to this person. But clearly, the outcomes of love and attachment are very different.
Correct.
So how can we be so discerning that we can differentiate between the two?
It's quite simple.
Yeah.
Love plus selfishness equals attachment.
Is that this herd instinct is very much prevalent in human beings and is actually leading to their devastation.
Correct.
So please enlighten us about this.
See, what happens is, this is a tendency human beings have.
Welcome to LPU Talks, a space that ignites and inspires. Today, we have the fortune to be in conversation with Sunanda ji, who is an acclaimed spiritual guru. Her knowledge of the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Gita is unparalleled. She has enlightened many a soul and put them on the path to divinity. She is renowned for conflating reality with mysticism and coming up with spiritual pragmatism. So Sunanda ji, we have observed a spike in stress and anxiety levels around us as we have progressed as a society. I mean, the modern world might have made our life easier outwardly, but it has definitely mired our inner selves. So Sunanda ji, how can we mitigate the rising stress and anxiety levels around us?
Let's understand what stress is. Most people believe stress is caused by external situations and circumstances outside of you. But the fact is, stress is an internal factor, and therefore it has to be tackled internally. An example would make it easier to understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, a seed is put into a soil, as a result of which it grows into a tree that produces the fruit, a fruit. Now, soil is conducive for the growth of the seed, no doubt. But the quality of the fruit will depend on the seed,
Yes.
not the soil. Okay. So the seed of an indisciplined, uncontrolled mind produces the fruit of discontent, stress, and a whole lot of negative emotions.
Right.
The soil is only conducive. It could be the situation you're placed in, the world you're placed in. It could be a family situation. It could be a work situation. That would be the soil. But the seed is the indisciplined mind.
Right.
So a human being is constituted of an inner personality. Outer personality is just the body. That's not you. There's something within you, which is your inner personality.
Right.
And the inner personality is constituted of two faculties. One is the mind that we just talked about. The Sanskrit word is manas. The other is intellect or buddhi in Sanskrit. Now, what's the difference between the two is critical to understand how stress forms in oneself. The mind is the sum total of all your feelings. your impulses, your likes, your dislikes, your wishes, your wants, your demands, your desires, all that put together is anybody's mind.
Right.
Now the mind is always full of wants. You want this, you want that. We're not saying it's wrong, but that's what the mind is. But in a human being, we have another faculty called the intellect, which is the capacity to think, to reason, to understand, to know, to judge, to decide. And it is superior to the mind.
Yes.
To put it simply, the mind in you, even in a full-grown, mature adult, the mind is like a child in you.
So I was saying that, is it safe to say that mind is controlled by senses while the intellect is higher? It is above the senses?
So senses belong to the body.
Okay, okay.
The senses are 5 in number: eyes, ears, nose, tongue,
Yes.
skin, period. Now, the senses are attracted, no doubt, to the world. You know, the eyes naturally want to see good sights.
Yes,
Natural.
true.
The ears want to hear good sounds. This is natural. Now, it's like a factory, you know. The stimulus from the world enters, let's say, your eye in the form of sight. And then the mind processes it. You like what you saw, you don't like what you saw. And then the body again responds. You go for it, you avoid it. So it's like a factory, you know, you put in
Yes.
raw material, it's processed by the machinery, and then you can't get finished products. That's what's going on constantly. Now, the senses only receive stimuli.
Right.
The mind processes the stimuli. I like this, don't like this, I want this, I don't want this. Intellect decides, look, whether you like it or not, this is good for you.
Right.
You may like it, this is bad for you. So that is a superior faculty that helps control, police, direct the mind, which in turn will direct the body to act.
Right.
So coming back, we were talking about stress.
Yes.
If I were to define stress, it would be so. Stress is nothing but mental agitations caused by unfulfilled desires.
Okay.
So you trace back stress. From where did it come? The root cause would be unfulfilled desires.
Right.
So when your desires are not fulfilled, you're highly agitated. And those mental agitations cause stress.
So even the day-to-day stress, like if I'm not able to reach somewhere, or if I'm getting late and I'm getting agitated.
What is the desire? To be on time.
To be on time, yes.
Now, the intellect would say, if you want to be on time, calculate.
Yeah.
See, if you need, let's say, an hour, you calculate an hour and a half. You're relaxed. There's no stress. So if you go by the mind and don't give it enough time, which is decided by the intellect, then you subject yourself to unnecessary mental agitations.
Right.
Because your desire is a good desire to be on time. But you haven't used your intellect to calculate how much time you need to get there comfortably, taking into consideration exigencies, emergencies, and delays and everything. So as long as you plan with the intellect, your mind is relaxed, you will not experience stress. There's no need to.
So is it safe to say that if we let our intellect reign, we will be remarkably stress-free, rather than the mind, if we let the intellect reign?
Yes. There is a factor here though. Now the intellect has to be strong. Suppose you have a weak intellect. The mind will have its own way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a child that is not under control. You know, we call
Yes.
them badly
It's
behaved
impulsive.
children, you know, the brats,
Yeah.
not listening, throws tantrums. Because the adult is not able to help the child evolve into a person that would listen, obey. So similarly, your mind may not obey the intellect because the intellect is weak.
Right.
So what we need to do is, first of all, there are two things. To make, everybody has an intellect, but it may not be available to you.
Right.
So one is to make the existing intellect available, but it may not be strong enough. So side by side, you have to strengthen and develop the intellect. And the only way to do that is through knowledge of higher values.
Okay.
And this body of higher values that we're talking about is nothing but Vedanta. Vedanta is just a philosophy of life and living that gives you fundamental, universal, human values. It's as simple as that.
So Vedanta is a tool that can hone your intellect.
Could develop the intellect. So you've got to strengthen. So
Yes.
when you establish yourself on higher values, the temptations of the lower fade away.
Right.
See, I'll give you a simple example. Suppose you're fired by the ideal, a thought, a value. What is the value? Physical fitness is a value. And if you're established in that value, now you could be exposed to, let's say, junk food. But you have the power, the thinking ability, and you may like it.
Yeah,
The mind
absolutely.
may like, oh, that's
Yes,
nice.
yes.
The chips and the fried stuff and oily stuff. It's junk food, but you may like it.
Yes.
But the intellect says, no way. No way. And it is able to control the mind. So what we're trying to say is when you're established in higher values, though your own mind is attracted to certain things initially, it can still be under control.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
you would not go in that direction.
you wouldn't go in that
Yeah.
direction. But if you merely deny yourself and say, I shouldn't be having this, I shouldn't be having this, you would just get frustrated, repressed, and perhaps bottled up. And such people go all out after a time because they say, I can't take it anymore. I'm just going to let go. So it really doesn't help if you're not established in higher values with the help of the intellect.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Sunandaji. So I read a quote in the book, The Fall of the Human Intellect, written by Swami Parthasarathy. And it goes like this: love produces peace and harmony, while attachment causes distress and disharmony. So now, Sunandaji, for people like me, a layman who is not that well versed with Vedanta, we cannot tell love and attachment apart. We are too naive.
Right.
I don't know whether I love this person or whether I'm merely attached to this person. But clearly, the outcomes of love and attachment are very different.
Correct.
So how can we be so discerning that we can differentiate between the two?
It's quite simple.
Yeah.
If I were to put it in an equation, I don't have a board here, otherwise I would have written
I
it down,
wish.
but it doesn't matter. You just got to mentally project it.
Yeah.
Love plus selfishness equals attachment.
Love plus selfishness equals attachment.
Right.
Right.
Attachment, whatever you feel now, which you believe, I need to be attached, I can't be detached. Most people think that. Take away the selfishness. Attachment minus selfishness equals love.
Right.
Now what that means is, now you say, I love this person. Why? Because you got a feedback. The person is supplying you with something. What is it? It could be material things. Oh, I remembers me on every birthday. Anniversaries are remembered. The day we met, that is remembered and celebrated. Wow, it's not the gift, but the thought, you would go like that. So you love this person because there is a feedback, you're being fed materially, or may not be material. It could be physical comfort. There's always a hug or a warmth or affection and expression. What do they call it? PDA, is it?
Yes.
The
Public
PDA
display
is a
of
big
affection.
thing going
Yes.
on. Unless you have PDA, you don't have love.
Yeah.
So people go by that expression of love, expression physically. They believe that is love. If you don't express, you don't have love. This is what they understand. What they're missing is you're being fed physically. You're being catered to. You want that, you like that, makes you feel good, makes you feel complete. Therefore, you have feelings of oneness or love, as you call it. It could be material, it could be physical, it could be emotional. A constant reminder, I love you, I love you. What's
Yeah.
Valentine's Day all about?
Yes.
It's just trying to
reinforcing that emotion.
reinforce the fact that I care for you, I care for you. It goes on. So you're being fed again, emotionally. Or sometimes it could be intellectual. I agree with you. Whatever you say, I agree with you. This person agrees with whatever I say. I feel so good. I can rely on this person. Why? The person always agrees. Now, because of this supply, you have positive feelings towards that person, and that's the bondage.
Right.
You feel bound, you feel one. Now let's assume somewhere down the line the supply is cut. Could be all, could be few, could be some, could be one. Would you feel the same is the question.
If you would feel bereft of the love that we felt before.
If in spite of the supply being cut, you say no difference whatsoever, in fact I feel more for this person, then you've got love. Otherwise it's attachment. It's a symbiotic relationship. I massage your ego, you massage my ego, we're doing well. The day you stop doing that, I have a problem with you.
So basically love has to be unconditional?
It is
Or it is not
completely
love.
unconditional. Otherwise it will not last. You can call it what you want. You will not be happy, you will not be peaceful.
So you will not find fulfillment in a relationship that is based on some conditions when it comes to love. Attachment.
Because you want something out of it. Here you don't want. Let the person be what he is. Let the person be what she is. It could happen between spouses. It could happen between parent and child. It could happen in an office situation.
Yes.
Anywhere you go. See, there's a terrific expectation you might have.
That is the word. Expectations.
Expectations.
So expectations are the key to what we call as conditions in love.
Attachment.
Attachment, yes.
So when your expectations are not met, you're disappointed, you're upset, you're agitated, thereafter it breaks down. The relationship breaks down. But if you let the person be what he is or she is, you won't have a problem. Because you accept the person wholly, solely. You may take your time to understand a person and say, okay, this is fine. But thereafter, no expectations.
Yeah, once you come to that understanding of that person, you embrace them wholly and fully.
As he is, as she is. Not what you want that person to be.
Not your version of that person, rather the person himself.
However right you may be. You may be right, but there is a tremendous expectation. When that happens, there's a lot of stress in the relationship. Because the other person also is uncomfortable in your presence. Because your expectations are so high, you transfer that.
So I have a question here, Sunandaji. What if the person that we love is doing something that is harming that person? Known or unbeknownst to him, that person is on a track that is harming him.
Correct.
And I want him to not walk that path, to not go in that direction. Maybe it could be an addiction. Maybe it could be, say, a phone addiction or addiction to video games or alcohol addiction, something like that. So this is something that enrages me about the person that I love. How can I mitigate that stress within me and also change the course of their life?
See, the first mistake is you're trying to correct the world. You know, a great Swami Ramatirtha who comes from this part of the India, Punjab, he said, wise words were these. Correcting the world is like straightening a dog's tail. You know, you feel you've straightened it up. The moment you let go, it goes back to exactly where it was. Now that doesn't mean, we're not suggesting that you see somebody going down the drain, you say, what can I do? Let him go down the drain. No, we're not saying that. The attitude should never be, I'm trying to correct you.
Right.
It's always a suggestion. It could be education on higher values, which takes far more time.
Right.
See, a person is engaged in something because that person knows of no better. There are energies in everybody, but it could be directed in a way that is harmful. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So if you could, without referring to whatever that path is, which is detrimental, and suggest something which is far superior in all ways, in quality, in engagement, in interest. You must understand the person's interests. You can't suggest something that is not in his interest or her interest. So if you take all that trouble to give something higher, let me put it simply. A child is playing with a sharp instrument. You want to distract the child. One is to pull it out of the child's hand. It's going to scream, shout, throw tantrums. The other is, baby, show a beautiful toy. He'll drop that and pick up what you're offering.
Yeah.
It's that psychology that we're talking about. So if at all you want to help someone, it has to be in a way that the person is attracted to it.
Right.
No do's and don'ts will ever work. And even if it works, it's only short-lived.
It's short-lived. No amount of preaching will work.
Will never work. So it is far more difficult because you have to put an extra effort and nobody wants to do that. You want quick results.
Yeah.
I don't mean you, I mean generally.
Of course.
So,
even with me, I think we face, this is a very generic problem. I think everybody faces this with someone or the other that they love.
It comes back to being highly unselfish. The more unselfish you are, you put yourself in the other person's shoes. Think like that person, feel like that person, and then try to figure out how best to help such a person. Otherwise, you're standing from where you are and pointing fingers to others and say, I'm up here, you're down there, you need to come up to where I am. It never works.
And probably pushing them in the same direction that we don't want them to go in.
You would more go into that direction.
Yes.
That's true.
Right, Sunandaji. So there's another excerpt that I read in The Fall of the Human Intellect that referred to an incident that was in 2005. It happened in Turkey when one sheep
slipped.
Yeah, one sheep fell off a cliff.
Yes.
And died, met its death, and 1,500 sheep followed suit, to the utter dismay of the onlooking shepherds.
They couldn't help him. Couldn't help them.
Yes, and there is a terminology for this, which is herd instinct.
Correct.
Yes, and the book says that this herd instinct is very much prevalent in human beings and is actually leading to their devastation.
Correct.
So, please enlighten us about this.
See, what happens is, this is a tendency human beings have. What is fashion all about? I'm not saying it's wrong.
It's all
one person tore the jeans. Everybody is tearing their jeans and walking around.
Yes.
Why? Because it's a herd instinct. Nobody stops and thinks, do I need to tear it? Do I? I need to belong. That need to belong is a weakness, it's not a strength. When everybody is wearing, I'm not saying you should or you should not, but the need to belong.
The need to fit in.
To fit in.
Is like we are hardwired to want to fit in all the time.
So you want to be noticed, you want to be recognized, you just can't be yourself.
Yes.
And that is a form of weakness. And that example shows that one person goes down the drain, everybody goes down the drain. Nobody is thinking, where is this leading me to? Do I need to do this? Nobody's thinking. And nobody's thinking because intellect is not developed. Then why are we doing this? Just impulse. Sheer impulse. You just get into doing whatever everybody else is doing. So that is that herd instinct that comes from the mind and impulses, where the intellect plays no role. So you may say, but I won't be recognized. So what? I don't need to be. It's not arrogance, it's not ego, but you're happy to be who you are. If there is some sense in what others are doing, by all means do it. But check, do I need to do this? If you think you need to do it, then you're not, even if you're following what others are doing, it's not a herd instinct.
As long as it makes sense to you.
As long as it makes sense to your intellect.
Yes.
That's very important. And intellect is the capacity to think, to reason, to understand. As long as you do that, you're in a good place.
But how can the herd instinct lead to devastation? Like right now, you said that it's okay to even follow the herd if your intellect is agreeable to it. But how can it lead to potential devastation of the human race?
Because you don't know why you're doing it. And a human being, as a human being, we are given choice. No other creature has an ability to choose.
That's very profound. Yes.
Right? So every moment of your life, every moment, you're placed at a fork, as it were. And that fork is this. There are two paths. Path of pleasant, path of good. I'll explain what that is. Path of pleasant, and Sanskrit word for it is preyaha.
Preyaha.
Preyaha is pleasant. The path of good, they sound similar, but they're worlds apart. Path of good is called shreyaha.
Right.
And this happens every moment of your life. Okay. The path of pleasant, as it sounds, is pleasant in the beginning. It's very easy to do it. But as you progress on that path, it becomes a place where you get agitated, worried, anxious. At the end of it, your mind is completely under stress and the rest of it, negative. You lose your peace of mind completely. Path of good, just the reverse.
Right.
It could be very unpleasant in the beginning. That's why you don't take to it easily. Most people don't, because it's difficult. It's not easy. But if you stay with it, if you go along the path of the good, in the beginning it's tough, it's difficult to stay on it, but as you progress, it gives you ripples of enduring peace and happiness.
Right.
So typically, I go back to fitness because people understand that. Now to wake up in the morning and go to a gym or a jog or I don't know, whatever physical program you have, who wants to do it? Most people know it's good.
Yes.
But it's not pleasant.
Because it's hard work.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
So the path of the good is tough. In the Bhagavad Gita, they say it's put differently. It goes to the extreme. He said it's like poison in the beginning, but turns nectar in the end. The path of pleasant is like nectar in the beginning, but becomes poisonous in the end. So this is why we need to choose wisely according to what is right, not just what is pleasant.
That was incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Sunandaji. So, according to you, Sunandaji, you are the master of the Gita. You're a master of the Gita. And according to you, what is the most important lesson that we can take away from the Gita? I mean, there are numerous, but what would you say is the most important out of them all?
Right. I would slightly alter that. I would say I'm a good student of the Bhagavad Gita, which is true. I'm not trying to be falsely humble, because the knowledge is so profound. The more you learn, the more you need to learn, you know. So that goes on. And what is the takeaway from the Bhagavad Gita? The most essential part of the Gita, besides letting us know as human beings how to live life fully. When I say fully, all human beings across the globe are looking for two things. One is material well-being, prosperity, dynamism, efficiency, progress. And at the same time, we want to be happy people, joyous, content, cheerful, happy.
Yes.
But if you analyze the world, you will find people have one, not the other.
True.
So you're successful, you're dynamic, efficient, not necessarily happy. Those who are happy and, you know, happy-go-lucky, you would say, peaceful and take things easy are no means achievers.
Yes.
Now, the Bhagavad Gita gives us a formula on how to combine the two. The most essential part of the Gita is this, what it's trying to communicate to humanity. Each one is essentially divine, no matter what you appear to be. The first word of the Bhagavad Gita starts with dharma. The last word in the Bhagavad Gita ends with mama. So it seems as if the entire philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita, that's 18 chapters, 701 verses, is sandwiched between these two words, dharma, mama. What is dharma? Dharma is that which makes a thing what it is, without which a thing is not what it is.
Right.
That might sound complicated, but I'll give you an example. Now, what is the dharma of sugar? What makes sugar what it is, without which sugar is not what it is? You tell me. What makes sugar what it is?
The sweetness of it.
Perfect. Sweetness makes sugar what it is. Without sweetness, sugar is not what it is.
That is the essence.
That is the essence. So you can, in other words, you can never have a sample of bitter sugar. Not possible. Because that is not its dharma.
Yeah.
Now I can go on adding examples, but this should make it clear.
This is very precise.
This is the essential aspect of sugar. Similarly, when you ask yourself, what is my dharma? What is your dharma? What is that which makes us what we are, without which we are not what we are? Don't say the body. Why? Because the body changes. The body you have now is not the body you had 10 years back, is not the body you're going to have 10 years hence.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The same goes with your mind and intellect. The way you feel now is not the way you felt earlier. It's not the way you're going to feel in the future. It's going to change. Thinking, even that changes. So no aspect of your present personality is permanent. So what is it in you that is permanent, that is essential, that never changes? That's the real you. You could say Bhagavad Gita introduces yourself to your real self.
Wow.
That is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita.
So is it like akin to our soul, our real self? Is it akin to our soul? Like, can we call it our soul?
Now, soul is used in many ways. It could also refer to the mind and intellect, because people say that when a person dies, the soul leaves them.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we were talking about this concept of God or the truth. If you're not comfortable with the word God, you can use the word reality. There is a reality, there is a truth which we may not know. We give it a name, God. But let's understand this truth, this reality, or God, the God principle, is all-pervading, is everywhere. So anything all-pervading cannot move.
Yeah, true.
See, for example, you have this mug here.
Yeah.
Now, I can move this mug from a place where it is to a place where it is not.
Yeah, but you cannot move something that is all pervasive.
But anything that is all pervasive cannot move.
Yeah.
So when you say the soul moved from the body, it cannot be the truth, the reality, or the God principle. It has to be something else. That something else is your mind and intellect. So the soul, if you're referring to the God principle, yes.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it means the mind and intellect.
Right, Sunandaji. Sunandaji, I'd like to ask you about social media. It has transformed human connection. And we as social beings do need that connection to a certain extent. But how is it impacting our spirituality? Like, it is definitely impacting other aspects of our lives, and positives and negatives, hordes of positives and negatives to it. But how is it impacting our spiritual well-being, our spiritual self?
Okay. Now, you're talking about social media. That's the thing of this generation.
Yes.
Every generation had something. We're talking about social media.
Right, right.
In the previous generation, they talked about, I don't know, something else, which was important then, so on, Every generation had something new, because science is responsible for all this advancement and connectivity.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay? There's nothing wrong with science. There's nothing wrong with connectivity. There's nothing wrong with all that is given for human comfort. Today, the world has progressed phenomenally. You're talking about social media.
Yes.
There's several other things that are going to happen. People are taking a trip to the moon. That's going to be an ordinary thing to do. A few generations down the line. And they would say, our great-great-grandparents, they thought it was something extraordinary. That's what they'll say.
Yes.
Few generations ago, traveling abroad, young people, was unheard of.
It was unfathomable that we could achieve what we have achieved today.
Exactly. So that's what they would be talking about.
Yeah.
So to put it briefly, the world has progressed phenomenally for human comfort and happiness.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. But when you're talking about spirituality, you must understand one thing. your individual development, whatever that is, which is spirituality in its true sense of the term, and that would happen when you know who you essentially are, that we just discussed.
Yes.
When you're on the path to discover your essential being, who you are, you grow individually. You know, you become independent of the world. It's your own individual development, let's say, as a human development.
Yes.
So when you are on the path of your own evolution, your own development, the strange thing that happens is your dependence upon the world is inversely proportionate.
So it decreases.
So the more you evolve, the less dependent will you be while you still connect with the world. Today, people are dependent on, what do you call it? Likes.
Yes.
They are
DMs,
dependent
likes,
on numbers.
comments. Yes. True.
If you lose your numbers, you're depressed.
Yes.
That means you're highly, highly dependent. And when a person is dependent upon the world, you have not evolved individually. So we are not saying stop your likes and stop your numbers. You go ahead with those games that you play. But when you evolve internally, whatever that means, we're not discussing that, but it is a path to discover who you essentially are, which is what spirituality is all about.
Yes.
If you are engaged in that and you evolve, you become less and less dependent.
Less dependent upon the likes, upon social media,
Or
upon
anything
how
in
many
the
people
world.
are responding to your posts. Yes.
You're not dependent. Please
Yeah.
mark that.
Yeah.
No. So it reminds me of a story of a Chinese philosopher. People praised him and put him on a pedestal, talked all great things about him. And all his reaction was, is that so? Right? Much later, some scam came about and they blamed him for it. And then they say, he's not all that good after all. And the same people who put him on a pedestal brought him down, said all sorts of nasty things about him. He turned around and said, is that so?
Wow.
Much later, they discovered all that they said was very, very wrong, and they were so apologetic and went to him and tried to make up and said, we have done so much wrong to you. You are such a great person. Turned around and said, is that so?
Wow.
So look at the way he's connecting with either praise or,
Defamation.
defamation.
Libel. Yeah.
Is that so? Take it in your stride. People, the world is so. One moment you put on top, the same people will bring you down. Don't be surprised. Wow. And that strength, inner strength, you will have only if you're preoccupied with something higher. If you're dependent on what people think about you, what the world thinks about you, you're going on a roller coaster ride, for sure.
That is true. And I think we all, to some extent, are on that roller coaster ride. And the only indication of us getting evolved is our less dependence upon the world, be it social media, be it our social connections, be it anything.
It could be family, it could be business, it could be your workplace, anywhere. Anything can happen anytime. We've got to be mentally prepared. I'm not saying, see, the difference between a pessimist and a philosopher. See, a pessimist expects something wrong to happen and is always stressed about it. A philosopher understands that this will happen and is fully prepared. So anything can happen.
In the face of praise, adversity, even if you're falling or you're being picked up or whatever, like if you're happy, sad, you are equanimate. You have that equanimity within you.
Is that so?
Like if you're evolved.
If you're evolved.
Yeah, if you're evolved.
It's like an adult, as an adult, just a natural growth into an adult. If a little child comes and tells you, I hate you. Really? Oh, how cute. That's all. Finished. Look at that one. My God, she's got a voice, huh, that one. That's all you'd say.
Yeah.
Because you understand. You'll be sorry for the childishness. It's okay.
And it'll be funny to you.
It's funny. And you know it's not pleasant, but it's okay. But if an adult were to say that, you're on the same level. So you get affected.
You'll get so impacted.
So if you have grown mentally, if you have matured, you understand, after all, they're children. One is nice and one is not so pleasant. It's okay. They're all kids, that is the way you would look at people and the world when you mature spiritually.
So when you achieve the equanimity of mind in the face of every situation, that is the time that you have evolved spiritually.
You would have evolved. And that equanimity would not be there unless you rest on something higher. I will probably, if you're ending here, I'll give you a beautiful quote.
Please.
It's from a poem, The Village Preacher, by Oliver Goldsmith. He compares the village preacher to a tall cliff.
Wow.
He says, as a tall cliff lifts its awful form, swells from the vale, and midway leaves the storm, though round its breast the rolling clouds are spread, eternal sunshine settles on its head. So there are emotions. The clouds are nothing but emotions. You know, there's thunder, there's lightning, there's all that stuff happening at the heart level. But a human is designed to have a head above the heart. You're designed. You know, animals are on fours. The head and heart is one level.
Is in one level. Wow.
That's the level of an animal. But a human is designed to have a head above the heart. And that head, meaning the intellect, when it's contact with eternal sunshine, which means higher values of life, then you've got a perfect personality.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Sunanda ji. And if there is anything you would like to say to our students at LPU, any message that you would like to give them?
We are human beings. It's very unique to be a human being.
Yes.
And you would be using your life effectively as a human being if you know what your true worth is. And what your true worth is, not the physical body, not the mind, not the intellect. But beyond the body, mind and intellect, in each one of us, we have what is called the real personality. And we are given this lifetime as a human to discover that divinity within. So even if you don't discover it, if you're on the path, you're going to be a happier person in life. And at the same time, you would be far more successful.
Right.
So you would lead a complete life if you set yourself, besides all other things that you do, one aspect of you should seek the truth and get there.
Thank you so much for that, Sunanda ji. It was most insightful, most enriching, and most enlightening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.